Okay. Hello, Ponies and Net. I'm CountessRose, and I'm here with my co-host Fire Scales.
Hey, peeps.
And today shall be doing our second episode of us reviewing characters. So to start off, we shall be flipping a coin to figure out who goes first, actually. So, Fire Scales, call it.
Heads.
Heads, you go first.
Yay! Look at my beautiful art.
Yes, that is beautiful of us.
Yay! Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I will do my good OC first. Here she is. This is Orange Swirl. Orange Swirl is obviously an Earth Pony. In her backstory, she has a father and a mother, a brother, and a best friend. I won't go into much detail. Y'all can look this up yourselves. Just of history, she had a fairly normal life, made friends easily, kind of a troublemaker, made a mess in the kitchen whenever her mom cooked. In her first year in school, she came down with a serious viral infection in her throat, which basically, at the end of it, left her mute, or at least she chose to be mute because it left her voice very hoarse. No pun intended. And so she uses a notepad to kind of to communicate to other ponies whenever she needs to do something. She chooses not to speak because it's hard to understand anyway, and according to her backstory, it hurts. She's training to be a cook. She found her passion in cooking over time. It first started out as a hobby. But she originally thought that writing was going to be her focus in life. But there was a presentation or class for a culinary institution, and she loved the idea. And so she started to bake and bake and bake. And she got her cutie mark when... Gotta find it. Let's see. Okay, she loved oranges. They've always been her favorite, also because of her name. She began to experiment and add them to some of her favorite dishes. It took a bit of work and a few upset stomachs. I like that. She was able to craft a perfect recipe, an orange chocolate swirl cake of her own design. She basically gave it to her family and her best friend to have a piece and try it. And I like this as well, and she was disappointed that they were more interested in her cutie mark rather than her creation. That's an artist right there.
Oh, we know your pain, darling.
Yep. Let's see. After she got her cutie mark, she started going into the cooking field, being trained and whatnot. Her favorite column in a newspaper was about to disappear because the original writer is about to retire. And so she did not want it to disappear, so she took it up and began to work in this food column herself. And there's some extra information, but we'll put a link in the description below, and you can read this quite lovely story yourself. That is basically Orange Swirl in a nutshell.
So basically, we have a dual talent pony here.
In a way, normally I don't like dual talent ponies, but this one, the talents fit with each other because normally it's like stargazing and drawing don't really have much in common.
But writing about food kind of makes sense for someone who cooks.
Bakes.
Because she writes about food and she does food, so that makes sense. And the cutie mark actually does pretty well for it. I would classify that as a dual talent cutie mark, but it doesn't scream I copied and pasted two completely different things together. It feels cohesive in one thing.
Yeah, actually, I think that's supposed to be a straw.
Actually, I think it kind of doubles.
Yeah, it does. Let's see.
Oh, what is the term? Forced recognition, is that the term?
Yes.
Yep, forced recognition. Oh my gosh.
What? What do you know? College is actually doing us some good.
Josh would be so proud.
He's smiling upon us now. Anyway, so I like the backstory. I think it fits. It's very cohesive. The dual talent actually makes sense. But I do like how one is more primary than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she does have a main talent, but she does has something that is connected to it that is
something different. Because
yeah.
it kind of feels more like a complete character. Because, like, even though we all love this show and you have one special talent, it's like that's not the one thing that defines you, really. Because, like, you might like this, but you also like this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're a more interesting person. Shut up, Skype!
I think that was Facebook.
Oh, well.
But yeah. So, the one thing I would recommend, because you have, like, pretty descriptive relationships in terms to her father, her mother, her brother, and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to find artworks of these characters, and they do not exist. So
Sad face.
I know, and when you describe these family members and friends in such great detail, I want to see what they look like. And so I wouldn't, you know, you don't have to make a whole character sheet on each character, but maybe like a family portrait.
Or just like a doodle of them so we get a basic idea.
Mm-hmm. With color, please. I'm interested with color.
Yeah, because you get the color schemes in and it's like, it adds an extra thing.
Yeah. So that'd be great if you could do that, because
Virus Girls would like it.
artistic mind must be pleased.
Okay, so let's move on to the actual character sheet.
Yes, that's
very nice.
Very detailed.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I am most pleased with is her, I'm gonna guess, rainbow power.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
You just drew on the wrong layer.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Control Z is my friend.
It is. Oh my gosh.
But yes, most rainbow powers are terrible, but this one is actually quite lovely. I love the design on this leg right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it's very subtle, but there is a slight bit of pink in the tail that just comes in. It's more defined.
Yes, and it's not, oh my gosh, I need bleach for my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually very subtle, and it's also very eye-catching what the rainbow power should have been in the show, but I digress.
Very good job in keeping it recognizably a rainbow power form, but at the same time very subtle, which the show apparently can't do very well.
It's a rainbow power that's not gaudy. Oh, thank you, sweet lord.
Mm-hmm. You get all the happy faces, because I actually like this rainbow power. Fire Scales does not have a rainbow power because she detests the way she looks.
Although she has a poison joke, and that is horrifying.
Yeah, if y'all want to see my my different forms, I have lots of them except rainbow power. Put it in the comments below, and we might arrange something. But anyway, back to this lovely OC with all the smiley faces.
Yes. Okay. So aesthetically, I think we discussed this a little bit earlier, but I believe we both agree that her coat color might be a smidge too dark in comparison to her color contrast with her mane and tail. Maybe if you just lighten up just a smidge so it's a bit more...
It's a little bit
complimentary.
Yeah, it's a little bit jarring with how bright and happy the mane is, but this is so dark. Which, you know, it kind of fits with this lovely cake that she made and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But even that is really dark, and so I just think just a little bit of lightening up will help it. You know, will help make it a little softer and easier to look at.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy the multiple uses of the greens in her bows and the little leaf on her cutie mark, as well as keeping that her eye color, because I think the green was a good choice.
Yeah, overall it's a nice good choice. You know,
very pleasing color palette.
3 simple colors, easy to follow, easy to understand, with the exception of the coat color being a tad bit dark.
But that's like more of a nitpick, really.
Yeah, it's a nitpick.
Yeah.
The gala dress, very pretty.
Very sophisticated.
Very poofy. She kind of looks like Mrs. Cake.
She kind of does. I love that hairstyle.
Very cute. You get another smiley face.
Okay.
Equestria Girls, you know, pretty decent. I'm not the biggest fan of Equestria Girls, but...
No, you're not.
But anyway, this is very nice. It fits.
It's nice to add to the character sheet. It gives us a cohesive thought process. I enjoyed the use of a show style for the size representation of how she would look in show, as well as her filly form, which is adorableness.
Mm-hmm. Very cute. And I like how, because I know some people randomly pick
Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Although, my one question is this Alicorn Twilight or regular Twilight? Because Alicorn Twilight is slightly taller than the rest of the main six.
Well, that begs the question, what would be a good, well-rounded character to compare height with?
Pinkie Pie, probably? Or Fluttershy?
Yeah, Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy would work. Because, yeah, true, because...
like, I think pretty much any of the main six that's not Twilight, because she's an Alicorn, that she actually redesigned her a little bit to be a slightly taller.
Yeah, she got a random growth spurt. Oh my gosh. Imagine,
mostly in the neck.
Oh my gosh, imagine the pain. Woo! Okay. But yeah, overall, I love the background. We have a nice thank you for having like a larger view of the cutie mark.
Yes.
I feel it's a little bit over-designed, but I don't know what she would do to fix it.
I disagree. I think it's very simplistic. The little swirl for the written pencil straw is very nice, and it's only 4 colors.
Yeah. I mean, that might be the thing, that it's the pencil line because it's taking up so much when this...
Yeah.
Because, like, if you get rid of this could be expanded and made larger to where we can see more of it.
True. But because she also uses the swirls as an extension in her rainbow design, it makes more sense to keep the swirl.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the swirls are gained when she gains her rainbow form or something like that. I don't know. That's up to you.
Yeah, it's really up to you. I thoroughly enjoy it, but different opinions.
Different opinions. Countess, how dare you disagree with me?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have to say. Lovely character.
She is adorable.
So yeah. Hippity hoo ha. Very lovely.
Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to mine. Let me get him. Okay.
Oh, you're a good one. It's over
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, he's on his own thing because there's a different aspect. Okay. So we have Mr. Titanius Strongarm. I can't speak today. Okay. So
that was Skype.
And it needs to shut up. Okay. So he was born into a rather large family that included apparently friends who are adopted into the family as family. So if you're friends with someone in the family, you're family. Titanius grew up in Trotland. He was an adventurous little colt who had grand adventures with his family, sailing far and wide with the mighty boat named the Determined Duncan. The family had a home base located in a hidden, well-maintained bunker under the dense forest of Trotland's outskirts. As he grew up, he helped his family through quests of finding hidden treasures all around Equestria. His family even has rivals that they might fight from time to time to keep their treasures or to keep the others from finding new ones. I have a feeling that Alizodal is one of these people.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my place. After a few years into his adulthood, things started to settle down a bit, and he decided, hey, I kind of want to settle down a bit, so he moved to a more urban area and started anew. He chose to stay in Winneapolis, and even found his first love named Rosemary, who we shall show a picture of.
Oh, cute.
Yes, very cute. I don't like her, mainly because of what she did. They started a family in an average-sized abode and had their first child, Blossom Gleam Sparks, who is that adorable little pink colt. And they lived a happy life for about 2 years, and then Rose left him after using his family's money to open her own restaurant.
Oh, not so cute.
Yes. And he is now a single father for about 5 to 6 years, which would make his son about 8 now, until he met his current wife, which is Flowering Spirit, which is located here. And I find her extremely adorable,
Even
especially
cuter.
this lovely picture right here.
Even cuter.
Oh my gosh, I love this picture.
Forget Rosemary.
Yes, she is adorable. I love this picture. I enjoy this because he is a macho man, but he is a adorable dad. Kind of like Shining Armor now.
Does it say anything about his occupation at all? I mean, besides being on a ship or something like that?
Current occupation is nope. Wait a second. He technically doesn't have a job, but he does do odd jobs helping others around town, from delivering packages to helping others with home renovation. So he's pretty much a handyman / delivery boy. Currently. And apparently he also helps his wife in her flower shop.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I wish you have stated, like, why is his eye missing?
Adventures.
Adventures? Oh, okay, but, like, what? You know?
Okay, yeah, something...
And, like, why does, why does it require, his adventures require, spears and I'm guessing this would be, like, something akin to camouflaging?
Probably.
So, because this looks very exotic. This looks like, Zecora exotic, and so it makes me be like, oh, why does he look like that? Why is he wearing all this camo? Why does he have a spear?
Kind of reminded me of the paint stuff they used in that alternate timeline where the changelings took over.
Yeah. Fire.
Okay.
So I do. The backstory is it fills, it answers, but it does leave a few questions unanswered.
A few, mainly aesthetic choices.
Yeah. Because if you're going to do something so drastic as having a loss of eye, I would like to know how it was lost. Maybe not go into graphic details, but at least what creature was he fighting, or what comrade was he saving? Whatever you had planned out for him. I would love to know.
Short story.
Oh yeah, I would love to know. So, let me see. And also a Cutie Mark story.
Yeah.
Would be nice. I mean, even if your character's a full-grown adult, a Cutie Mark story is always still useful in fleshing out a character.
Yeah. Noticing how he got from point A to point B I can't speak tonight. Growing into an adulthood is always a interesting character study.
Mm-hmm. And plus it gives us an excuse to see your character when they're really, really young and cute. Yeah.
Although his son is adorable.
His son's very cute.
No, the noise.
So, alright. Well, that's really all. That's all the suggestions I have for the backstory.
Yeah, the backstory, I personally find what you have here is very nice. The addition of his first and second wives are interesting, although I don't like Rosemary, but that's mainly because she used her husband and then ran off. So, and left him with her kid. So, besides my disdain for his first wife, let's move on to aesthetics.
Very interesting color.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't see very many yellow ponies, and this one, it's a nice yellow.
Yeah, it's kind of a more mustardy brown?
Ish.
Tan.
Yeah.
It's more tan, really.
Like a tan yellow.
Mustardy tan. I enjoy his color scheme, although my one critique is that Cutie Mark.
It is way too over-designed.
Extremely over-designed. If that was a tattoo and I wasn't extremely afraid of needles, I might get something akin to that. But I am afraid of needles, and that is not a tattoo, that is a Cutie Mark.
I wouldn't want to spend the money to get a good tattoo. Because I'm picky.
Well, also you want to spend that money on a Cintiq.
I know. I have expensive taste.
We're artists. We always have expensive taste.
If you want to keep this design, get rid of the shadows and get rid of the highlights. Keep the base
colors.
Base colors.
It's a beautifully designed piece itself. It's just, when you slap it on a very simply colored flank of a horse, it kind of stands out.
Yeah, it kind of, the more colors and highlights and shadows you add in, the more of a cacophony of colors it turns into.
Yeah.
And it's harder to read, especially when it's really tiny.
Yeah. Try to stay below maybe max 5 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Max. But other than that,
I like his. He has expression.
Mm-hmm.
He has.
He has the "I will mess you up" all the way to "I'm sorry, I'm just a big." Was just like a pushover teddy bear.
Mm-hmm. His son's cute. I like the son's color, even though that this isn't exactly his son's page or character sheet, but it's still very adorable. He's very cute, and I like the part where I like it where the macho father has a kind of a bubbly, happy son,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing Macho Man cry makes me. Me. I'm very expressive, as you can tell.
Yes.
So, and that's Rosemary.
Yes.
Actually, you did a good job with combining, the genes and creating a plausible son.
Especially seeing that this was I'm going to assume a friend's character.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not talking about her.
But
we're
hey,
just using her
good job on the genes.
Yeah.
That's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. The main is nice. It fits with, he's an adventurer, so naturally he's probably a more kind of messy kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact it's not perfect, fits him. I'm going to leave those hearts there because, yeah. I do appreciate how you let us see what's underneath his eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of get to know the character a little bit better. That's all I have.
Yeah. I feel he's a very designed character. His color scheme is very mute, but is not overpowering. And it's not jarring, but he is eye-catching, which is why I picked him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay!
Good job. Hearts all around.
Okay. So, we move on to your second OC.
The OC that could use a little work. That's what we like to call it.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I brought on Foxwell. And as some people might know, Foxwell is a burnalysis in the community. Cool guy.
who asked for our opinion on his OC.
And he shall get it. Okay. So he originally wasn't supposed to be a fox hybrid, but everyone assumed he was, probably because of the way his tail was drawn, so he just kind of went with it. Can't blame him for that.
Mm-hmm.
His father was a kitsune, and his mother an ordinary mare. And let's see. Dear old daddy transferred himself into a stallion and did the thing. And this is their offspring. He has canine teeth. He's an omnivore. He can use inherent magic, like from his father, kind of akin to telekinesis, transformation, casting illusions, and levitation. When using the powers, his eyes take on a yellow glow and his pupils become more canine-esque. He also has teleportation. His cutie mark is a quill, which symbolizes his passion for writing. As well as having a white tip, like the tail of a fox. Could even easily be called flame-colored. And he has a jacket, because who doesn't like jackets? So, he chose the body frame of an alicorn because he's a naturally skinny guy, and alicorns are built more slender per se.
Mm-hmm.
So that is it to the backstory. I would like to know so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Because since you chose a species that is not right as of right now in the show,
Probably never going to be seen fact they tend to go more Roman and Greek mythology rather than Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
The chance of us seeing a kitsune is very slim.
I would like a little explanation as to why a kitsune is there, or where they live. Explain their culture a little bit, since you're creating a whole separate species.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I don't mind. I don't mind hybrids at all, because yours truly.
All of our in real life friends are like hybrids.
I know.
It's kind of funny.
Cutie Mark story would be nice. You said passion for writing. What did you write? What did you do that led you to getting a Cutie Mark?
Well, here's my thing. This is more of a pony sona really than an actual OC.
But this is an OC discussion.
True. So let's fix that. Let's make it an OC and not pony sona.
Yeah, we're gonna treat it like an OC. So, I mean, mine's a pony sona, and I still have a very complicated backstory.
Takes you a freaking half hour to explain it.
Hey, it's cinematic. It can be its own trilogy. Lord of the Fire Scales. Doesn't have a right ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna treat it like an OC.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even so, what led you to believe that you deserved a Cutie Mark? And what about writing that you like?
Mm-hmm.
Have us get to know you a little bit better in terms of your OC, since this is your pony sona. Put as much of you into this character as much as you can, because this is what we're going to see.
And then you can mix everything else up. That's the fun part.
That's the best part. So, put as much filler as you can, so we can get to know you as best we can. If that all makes sense.
Kind of.
Would like to, again, would love to see artwork of his dad and his mom. I love seeing, pictures of family members and whatnot. Anything you want to say?
I think you covered all the bases.
Yeah!
Oh my goodness.
Alright. Well, speaking of bases, let's talk about aesthetics.
Wonderful segue. That is a Luna base.
That is a Luna base. And the thing about, and I've talked with you, Foxwell, about this, and you've stated in your description that, or it was stated in the description that, that you're wanting your character to look like you, and I commend you for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, a Luna base was meant for a female.
Yeah, the character does look rather feminine, at least in the body type, but that might be because we recognize that as a Luna shape, which we automatically think of when we think of Princess of the Night. So
yeah, so to me, it makes you look very feminine, which I doubt that's what you're wanting.
Mm-hmm. So if you want a tall, lanky, slender pony, there is other male body types, one of which being Mr. Kate, the Flim Flam Brothers, that one delivery pony from Equestria Girls.
Mm-hmm. You do have options to go by.
Mm-hmm. And then you can always alter that.
You can always, draw your own, like what I did here in about 5 minutes.
Yep. There you go.
I didn't draw your jacket because, crunch for time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can, play with it, or, commission an artist to really have fun, with it. Create a body type that doesn't exactly quite exist yet.
Yeah.
It's, it's My Little Pony, Equestria, imagination abounds, have fun with it.
You already have a non-generic species hybrid, so have fun with the body type.
Mm-hmm. Play with it.
Me. Mm-hmm.
So, anything else you want to talk about the body type itself?
Not the body type, but let's talk about the colors.
The colors. They're a little too dark.
Yeah, you're having trouble distinguishing the body type from the hair is my one problem, because they're so close. And I think he had one picture where it's like the gradual change of his OC through the different designs.
Mm-hmm.
And was it the second or the third one where we thought his body type was a little bit, at least his colors was a little bit better?
Foxwell. I'll have to go far up.
Nope. Nope. Research.
Nope.
You have talked with him a lot.
I have.
Hmm.
Make sure that was no. Okay.
There it is. Okay. Here we go. There's the change. Yeah, I think it was the third one.
Yeah, this one, maybe make
the colors is what we're thinking for at least the body type.
Mm-hmm.
The body color choice I think is a lot better, because then if you put it with the new color choice for his hair, it stands out a lot more. And then if you have when you have the darkening around the muzzle and the tip of the tail, tip of the ears, you got a lot better contrast. It's a lot more interesting.
Let's see. This is your old body color right here.
Mm-hmm.
And cup that with, because you see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And we can be able to distinguish you better from it.
Yeah, because grab his current coat color. See how much darker it is and how much closer to the main color it is.
Mm-hmm. So I like the gradients you have on the ears and the muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Yeah, you can always keep that, and with the lighter color, it would
actually stand out more.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to see now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing. Don't use pure white.
Yeah, see, it's right there in the corner.
Let me bring out my color. It's right up there. It is pure white. Go down just a little bit. And it'll be easier on the eyes.
Yeah.
The only place that pure white is condoned is in the eye area. That's really about it.
Yeah.
So,
because it draws the eye to it, and it's such a small area, therefore it doesn't hurt the eyes too much.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. And it's not really, as long as it's not pure white, just a slight change, and it can make the world of difference.
And the reason also white on anywhere else in the body is a little frowned upon as well, because most things appear on white backgrounds. So your character is going to be turning into nothing but an outline.
Yeah.
So, especially the original piece that we pulled this photo from, it's on a white background, and so the tip of your tail is nothing but a gray outline, which is very confusing to the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a reason why you normally don't go with pure whites.
Mm-hmm.
So, as for the key mark, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. It fits since it's a quill, and I actually liked the combination of the quill and the foxtail.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the jacket, but it's pure black.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact reason for pure black. If it's ever put on a dark background, your character's going to turn into an outline.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go up a little bit, not too much, and it just becomes so much more readable.
Yeah, and also when you choose pure white or pure black, it has problems, especially if you want to go more in depth within the coloring, because right now it's just base color with a few gradients. It's doesn't have much depth to the actual picture, but if someone wants to go and do that, they either have to change some of your colors so they can add in highlights and shadows, because you cannot go darker than a black.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot go a highlight lighter than a pure white, which makes you can't really do that. So they either have to change the color or they can just do this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, yeah.
And one more thing, the eye color, I like it. I like the green, but maybe make it a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
I can barely tell that it's a green. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
So, maybe, make it a little bit brighter.
Mm-hmm.
More of a kind of a nitpick, whatnot, but
yeah. The eye is the window to the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Draw the audience's attention to the face and the eye.
So, that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
I think that's mostly covering it. Maybe want to add some highlights in the eye, that's about it.
Yeah.
But
interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot.
Could use some expansion.
It could use expansion, and it could use a little bit of rework. But again, just have fun with it.
Have fun is your character. You can make this whatever the heck you want. You don't have to use bases.
Yes, please don't use bases. Don't use something as cold as a base. Anyway. Moving on.
For the final OC tonight, I bring you Aristotle.
Please, Countess, give me his backstory.
Okay. Aristotle is a male alicorn. He was born as a Pegasus, but one day there was an asteroid plummeting toward Equestria. Everyone's running around screaming and freaking out, and he saw what was wrong, so he flew up into space. And fighting to break through Earth's gravitational pull, he broke through the barrier of space and struggled through his wings freezing, him not being able to breathe, and apparently ascended, I'm going to guess in this time frame, and was able to divert the asteroid away from Equestria. And so he decided to continue to live up in space on an asteroid to guard the planet from such disasters, and he sometimes visits Equestria, but he apparently is not very social and therefore avoids ponies when he does return to Equestria. And there's very little else. That's about it. His personality is very serious, anxious, always has defenses up, kind, and, oh, here's an interesting one, fatherly.
Have heard that and have not heard that at the same time.
Oh, we have the male equivalent of motherly! Okay. And his cutie mark is an asteroid.
I would love to see that.
Yeah!
Move and unfold that wing so that way we can see his butt tattoo.
Okay.
That's for later.
Okay. I would first off like to point out that this piece that we are looking at was commissioned by the original creator, and the piece was actually done by a Miss Lowe's Cupcake, who has beautiful artwork, by the way. But I have questions.
I do too. What?
Okay.
How did a mane and a tail migrate to the neck and the hooves?
Well, let's talk about the backstory before
and the butt, technically, too. Look, it's on the butt. It's right here.
I think that's his cutie mark.
That's on the edge of his... right there?
I don't know. Let's talk about backstory first. Okay. There's very little of it.
Very true. We'll be done with that very soon.
Okay. Okay, so... alicorns. If they're born alicorn, give them a reason to be born as alicorn. If they're ascended into alicornhood, give them a reason. He has saved the planet from an asteroid. I can understand him ascending.
Yeah. But with most alicorns, they're either a princess or a prince of something.
I can disagree with saying, hey, they're just a cosmic force. Because if all the alicorns are a prince or a princess, no one's special.
But it's just like one is responsible for the sun, one the moon, one friendship, one love. So it's kind of like they do represent something. And so I'm kind of like...
But I can forgive that, especially seeing the fact that this is an AU. Stressing this. AU.
It doesn't say, but we assume so.
No, alicorn is an AU alicorn.
Okay.
It says it right there.
Okay.
So, Aristotle. One thing I have concerns with is some of the color choices. Mainly because I feel like the almost neon colors don't really go with a space themed.
Mm-hmm. I just realized something about the backstory real quick. We don't have a cutie mark story.
No, we don't.
I would love a cutie mark, especially Since his cutie mark is an asteroid, he must have some knowledge of space.
Okay, here's my question. Is his ascension story and his cutie mark story the same thing?
Oh, hell no. No. If so, that is lazy writing. There is a thing where maybe he's, he was flying. Maybe he knows about space and, saw the signs in space, saw the asteroid coming and decided to do something about it. But having that be the same thing, no. And also, I'd like to know, what was his life like as a Pegasus? Because he obviously, since he's so serious, anxious, and I'm assuming also antisocial, what was life for him as a Pegasus? How did he deal? And since now he kind of has the power to not have to deal with other ponies.
Well, okay, I guess antisocial was the wrong word when I was skimming through this. He doesn't understand friendship.
So he's kind of like Discord. Because Discord doesn't understand friendship either.
Either way, he avoids ponies when he comes to a question. Anyway,
to the aesthetics.
To the aesthetics, I have some questions about aesthetic choices. Mainly, why does he have a neck mane?
Well, it's kind of like when men describe, they're bald on top and have a beard. The hair migrated down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
The choices, I would like them answered. His tail, I found it interesting, but why is it just a long thingy-majig? Because that's not how horses' tails work.
And horses' tails are very stubby.
They're very stubby and mostly just long hair. The random stripes, as well as the fact that he looks like he's wearing a fake horn because it is a completely different color from the rest of him.
What also bugs me is the fact that his wings are just splotches of color. When normally the wings, even for an alicorn, are the same as their coat.
Even with Cadence, who has a gradient in her wing, it's a subtle gradient, from her coat color to the purple. The sudden cutoff for these colors, like back to his horn, even with King Sombra, who actually is the only unicorn that we have who has a different horn color from his body, is a gradient.
It's a gentle transition.
Well, not exactly gentle, but it's still a transition.
It's gentle enough for me to accept it.
True.
Not this, though.
Yeah. Color scheme itself is pleasing.
Yeah. It's not, bright. It's not super dark. It's not pure black, which you get a happy face for that. Because it's not a pure black that the main color of the pony is.
The choices they look neon, but they aren't exactly neon, with the tips and the stripes. Yeah, that is my one question of why the neon stripes and why the
Why does he look like he's going to a techno concert?
Yeah, he looks like he's going to a rave.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that this just goes straight across right here. As an artist, this bugs the ever-loving daylights out of me. Because normally, grab that, they would go like this. Because each leg is its own different shape. And so thus it would bend like this and not go straight across the leg like that.
Yeah.
So.
Choices.
Basically, choosing an alicorn, not a bad thing.
No.
Especially to me.
Because if you said it was a bad thing, you'd be a hypocrite.
But if you're going to choose something that's so drastically different, kind of like mine, you have to have answers for why you chose that. Like mine, kind of long-winded, but there's an answer there. Why?
Refer to episode 1.
Yes. Like, why technically the bald head? Why the long lion tail with no fur?
Why the fetlocks that just seem to billow out of the back of his hoofs?
Mm-hmm. Why are the wings a different color? Why are there dots underneath his eyes?
Like, are these tattoos? Are they natural?
Did he have them as a Pegasus? Did he get them when he ascended?
Were they after effects of being exposed to the frigid vacuum that is space?
Basically, it's a giant why.
Yes. Why is the question.
If you're going to have a character who's already distinct, again, is distinct as an alicorn, but even more distinct as being an unusual alicorn,
yes,
you need to give us reasons why.
His design does achieve eye-catching. It did make me stop when I was scrolling through, hence why it's here. But we come back to the questions of I have no answers for my questions. Of why.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fire Girls, do you have anything else for us this week? Anything else you want to say? Because I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay. So, that is all for us this week. If you have a character or a fan fiction you would like for us to review, critique, or just generally talk about, please send it to us at our DeviantArt account or email it to us too. The information shall be on the screen, or you can send us a link via the comments below. So, until next time, I'm CountessRose.
And I'm Fire Scales.
Have a great day.
Bye.